Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Above the Bar podcast, where each week we belly up to the bar with a new guest, find out what they do, who they are, and what makes them great. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Above the Bar podcast. That's your host, Sean. We have bellied up to the bar. If you hear the noise in the background, we're actually at a bar today. I know we're a little bit early for where we were going to send everything out, but we figured it was a perfect time. The bar's starting to pack up. We're actually in Schenectady, the Electric City, at DL's, and it doesn't stand for down low, for DL's Lounge. We actually have with us one of the owners, the L and DL. We have Lee with us. Lee, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And thank you for being here.
Well, I mean, the opportunity to actually sit at a bar towards the end, what we hope is the end of COVID, I'm not going to turn that down. We all had 2 years of not being able to sit at a bar, and it's so great to have. Folks, if you're hearing it, these are real bar noises with actual adults at a bar. And this is fitting. Here at DL's, this is, I don't know how many there are in the Schenectady area, you'll have to tell me here, but this is a new opening of a gay bar in Schenectady, a very blue-collar city, the Electric City, a union city, which is unique in and of itself. We're going to be talking to Lee about that, opening a bar in the middle of there, because that happened.
That had some challenges.
Definitely had some challenges. We'll stand your mic a little bit closer to you.
Sorry about that.
So we had that going. But all that happening, but let's get our housekeeping done. So first thing, as always, we don't have the sign, and this is my sign, but sticker in the cause, folks. If you've got something you're supporting, some organization you're part of, charitable, whatever it is, you reach out to us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Even our email is the Above the Bar podcast. You mentioned us, belly up, or mentioning what your thing is, and we'll go ahead and we'll put that out there for you, and we'll get that sticker, and we'll read your sticker right on air, and we'll put it on the big board. The other thing is, if you can see it, folks, here in the background, I'll have, if you can see Evan's smiling face, and if those of you know Evan from New Scotland Spirits is with us, and New Scotland Spirits is actually, put that up to the camera there, turn it, but other way. Your other hand.
There we go.
And Evan is actually here with us because our sponsor for today is New Scotland Spirits. If you're in the upstate New York area and you're looking for a good quality bourbon, Scotch, whiskey, winter wheat whiskey, which is a whole new thing to me, make sure you go out. Most of it is what,
Voorheesville, the town of New Scotland in itself, yes.
You can find it. It's a very upstate New York thing. We are going to halt this to ourselves for now, but we'll see. I mean, you guys have educated me on that whole, I don't even know if you know, but do you know about this whole thing where, like, distillers buy for other distilleries that are going out of business their product?
I hadn't heard that.
Well, right. Instead of it going to waste, things will be procured a certain way and brought in, and it's something that I'm learning as well. A lot of this stuff, some of it we barreled, but then other things, especially with like the wheat, we've noticed that sold so well. We're about to just purchase like about 8 new barrels of it from another fellow.
Awesome.
It's nice. It's nice when you have that problem about running out.
And if you see sneaking up off of my right shoulder, but what's great about it, look, we even have our famous Miss Amanda Love looking all pretty, rubbing my back. My wife doesn't even have to know about it.
No, your wife gave me permission.
I look at that, my wife gave me permission. So we're all set up. The bar's open. As you can hear, sounds are going. If you're in the Schenectady area, make sure you come on by, spend your money. Make sure you tell them the Above the Bar podcast sent you, so then I know that fact that you were listening, and you go spend your money. So we're all set up. The bar's open. It's ready to go. Lee, welcome back to your own bar.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a long time coming.
So, and that's the first thing I want to get into. So, what was the actual opening day? Like, this is your grand opening.
Right. We did a very soft opening back in February.
Okay.
We weren't sure of how busy we'd be or and what our experience level with the hours to handle. Dave's got some bar experience. He was a bartender back in the day. I had no bar knowledge whatsoever, so I was coming in blind with his guidance. And so we just kind of kept it quiet, told a few people, and just kind of spread word of mouth.
Now, was that just this past February?
This past February, yeah.
So, I mean, come on. Like, we weren't even sure if everything was opening back up.
Neither were we. It was, like I said, it was a long time coming. It took us about 2 years to get our license. A lot of headaches and challenges. And
well, that's a whole thing. How did, like, I know how they do it in Baltimore, only because my parents own the bar, and the building has a license. How is it in New York? Was it you as a person has a license, or you had to buy a license off of somebody? How does it work in New York?
We started an LLC, and the license is under DL's Lounge.
Gotcha. So you actually got it from the state, then you didn't have to buy, like,
From the city of Schenectady.
Okay. See, like in Baltimore, one of the big things in Maryland is you have the license. There's only a set number of those licenses in the entire state. So if you want to have a liquor store or a bar, you have to either find someone who still owns the license and isn't using it, or you have to purchase it off of somebody. When you buy the business, you're buying the license as a separate entity.
Yeah, the bar that was here before was a very popular bar, but it had been closed for a number of years at the time we moved in and did what we were going to do. So that license is no longer available. We have to start from scratch.
Gotcha.
So this was vacant. So this was vacant prior to you coming in? For how long?
A couple of years. I'm not sure the exact time frame. Maybe 2-3 years or so.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I wanted to ask you something when you brought it up. What did you do before this?
We both came from the gaming industry.
Okay.
I'm still in it.
Okay.
Dave left. He came from table games, and I was in slots, and that's how we actually met.
That's with an O, right? That's slots with an O.
Yeah. Yeah. With an O. Some days. Dave was, in fact, that's my coworker who just walked in.
With the black jacket on, or
With the red shirt. So yeah, he's getting burned out. He wanted to be his own boss. He's had this dream of owning his own business for a long time. And we kind of tossed some ideas around and thought what was missing, what does Schenectady need. And we didn't think it needed another bar, but there wasn't a gay bar or any kind of bar that's just for the LGBTQ plus community.
So there was no gay bar in there. This is it. This is the one.
This is it. Yeah. There were some gay friendly bars, but there hasn't been just an LGBTQ bar. I'm not even sure how long.
Is that better? We're just playing with the audio. This is like the loudest place I've been in a long time to do this. And I've done I'm just trying to play with the audio. So folks, you're getting to hear us play with the audio too, which is one of my favorite things here. Anything? Any change?
Check. A little bit lower.
A little lower. How about that?
That works.
There we go. So, but that's interesting. So, again, we talked about this. This is a very blue collar, GE, Union City, Electric City. I mean, to turn around and say, "I'm going to open a gay bar here."
You know, it is all those things, but there's also a huge LGBTQ plus community here, and we weren't sure about the response that we would get, and it was overwhelming.
Really?
Yeah, very underrepresented. Well, underrepresented in the community.
Yeah, we had a lot of positive feedback from all over the area.
Great.
So, yeah, it became very exciting.
Great.
Now, when I always think about this, there's that great saying: as long as the goal is the ultimate goal has to stay the same, but how you get there can change. When you were looking at this, how it looks today, how you see the bar today, is this how you imagine it looking, or did you have
I mean, just aesthetically, or
aesthetically everything?
Yeah, we kind of had an idea of what we wanted it to be. We just wanted to be a loungy kind of place where you could just come in and relax and have a drink after work with your friends. Or we didn't want to be the late night bar. We wanted to be the place where you started your evening. If that makes any sense.
No, this is where you went the pre-flight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pre-flight here. And then we can go around here to the Rocks or to Waterworks or something like that.
Right.
I get it. No, I like that.
Now, is there a kitchen here? Is it?
There's a very small kitchen with a limited space to have it.
Yeah,
So,
but that's all you need, really.
so we put in an rental system, so when I have a deep fryer or ovens and things like that, but we had some things that we can offer if somebody wants something.
Cool.
Now, is there anything that you have in your mind, like, I want to start making this, this is going to be our dish? I'm a fat kid at heart, so whenever I think about
Fat kid around my waist, so there we go. I work during the week. I'm here on Sundays, and generally I'll make something on Sundays. Otherwise, we have some items that we can kind of make quickly, but I'll actually do some cooking on Sundays.
What's the dish? What's the Sunday?
It's whatever I feel like making that day. Like a couple weeks ago, I made some sausage and peppers up on the grill, chili mac and cheese with some, a lot of pasta stuff. It's easy to make.
Absolutely.
You know what my new favorite thing though is? Like, have you ever been to Gus's? You ever been to Gus's?
Absolutely.
In Watervliet? Oh, you've never been to Gus's in Watervliet?
I have
Some of
not.
the best hot dogs.
Close your eyes. Just close your eyes as you go there. It's like, because you don't want to look at it and be like, I'm gonna get food from here.
Right.
But those are always the best places.
It's a little shack. It's a little shack. And
They
it's,
do. Have you ever had their Greek burger?
of course, I
They
am
do a
Greek.
burger called the Greek burger,
Okay.
and it's a sausage patty, but it's like a sausage patty that's like a burger patty. It's weird. Like, you have to see it. It's not like a breakfast patty. And they do it with peppers and onions. And I put mustard. I put yellow mustard on mine.
I have to.
Yeah, it's like amazing.
The meat sauce they put on those burgers, man,
Oh,
it's hands down the best in the area.
And I always ask people, I'm curious about that, especially in this area, not growing up here myself. I learned about the mini hot dogs and the meat sauce and all that. Ever thought about, like, I'm just thinking, like, I always think every place needs a signature thing. Like, have you ever given that any thought? Like,
No, as far as food,
anything?
no, because, no, we didn't. Not as far as food, because we didn't want to be a restaurant.
Gotcha.
We're not trying to be a restaurant. As far as cocktails, we have a couple of things that we like to make. We make a really good Bloody Mary.
Let's see, what's your go-to? Bloody Mary.
I love them, though. I love them.
We make what's called a double margarita, which is just a margarita served in a martini glass layered with a layer of red wine, which sounds very strange, but tastes amazing.
I can see that. I
Yeah,
can see that.
That's interesting. See, I love Bloody Marys, though, man. I went back to Bloody
I
Mary.
love a Bloody Mary.
Now you said that I want to say Dennis, David. God, why did I keep getting names right in my head for a second?
You had the D.
Yeah. Yes, I did. But you said that David had bar experience. Is he bringing, like, what is he bringing to this whole thing? Because I'm just thinking, like, I asked my dad when I was probably in my mid-20s. Was going to get out of the Marine Corps. And I said to my dad, "Why don't we open a bar together?" And my old man, we owned one when I was a kid, was like, "Nope." I'm like, "But Dad, I can get my VA small business loan." He's like, "Nope, not on your life am I ever doing that again." And he had his reasonings behind it. But with you never being in that industry, but being in gaming, and you see that whole world, what was your initial reaction like?
Just support. This was Dave's dream. I had never even thought about it before. I really like what I do. I work for a great company. I'm treated well, and I like the people I work with. Dave had this dream that was important to him, and when he started describing his vision, I was behind him 100%. So as far as what he brings to the table, he's got a lot of bartending experience, but he brings the passion. He loves his bars, as I do, but he loves the people that come to it, what it provides, and just everything about it. So
that's awesome. I love the fact that you guys are that level of support for somebody. So somebody comes in, it's that good lounge feel. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is my second time being here. And I like the feel because it's you got a good flow for a bar.
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest thing with bars. Like, there's a big, I'm not going to say the name of it, there's a very large set of bars in Saratoga on Caroline Street, at the end of Caroline Street, that almost feels like a trap every time you go into it, because if you go too far, it's like one of those things that you go too far into it, you can't get out. Oh shit, I'm on the third floor, I need to leave this place. I work my way down and try to get out of here. You know what I mean?
There's
I
no
do,
quick
but
escape.
I think, that's a home for somebody. Some people love that.
See, I love this. Like, you just come in with the bars there. See, this is the neighborhood part. See, this is what I grew up with.
We got lucky. It has a nice footprint. It's got, like I said, it does have a nice floor. It's got a nice little back area.
That's what I was going to ask. How is the back area?
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
Sorry. the Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Little Freudian slip.
Right over my head.
Yeah.
We have a couple of picnic tables out there now, some umbrellas. And, like I said, we're working on it. We want it to be a nice place where people can go out and, on a nice summer night and just kind of sit back and relax and have a drink.
Now, you said something, I don't know if it was you, about a DJ. So is this, like, DJ would be set up there?
Today we have a DJ. Okay. Today's a special day.
Okay.
Ordinarily, we have a streaming service, and so we can play videos on the screen and different genres of music, and we change it from day to day.
Who picks the music?
Both of us, kind of. Both of us. Usually, because I'm only here one day a week. One day it's 80s, one day it's 90s. Sometimes we do show tunes on Sundays.
Do you change it on day?
We'll take requests sometimes.
Do you ever change it on him when he's like not paying attention? You're like,
all the time.
Done with this shit.
All the time.
What's the one genre you got to flip it to when you're like, I'm done with this shit? What are we switching to?
Probably 80s or 90s. Probably 90s, yeah.
Like 90s, like Lithium on Sirius, like 90s, or like what's your go-to? Like I'm a big Lithium.
Just like top 100 from the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge Lithium. Like I gotta get that whole grunge. I gotta get that grunge out of my system every so often.
Yeah, well, there's some good stuff.
I love my grunge stuff. So this is moving forward. It's February. You open it up, and you're kind of going forward. And you said you had a good reception from folks that were coming around. What was the only word that comes to mind to me is anxiety? What was your personal anxiety when all this was coming about? Where you were like, this shit's real. This is about to happen.
Yeah, it was scary because I didn't know what to expect. I had no bar experience whatsoever, so I was just kind of following his lead, and I'm constantly over his shoulder. How do I make this? What goes in this?
Mm-hmm. What do we put in this thing?
Exactly.
What
goes in this beer?
See, and I'm watching some of the videos that we were playing, and this is one of my favorite stories of a musician. Right, so Dead or Alive, Spin Me Around. You know he won't do that song anymore?
Probably did it too much. He's probably sick of it.
But name me another Dead or Alive song. Name me another song.
Absolutely. I can't.
They don't have another. And the guy like refuses to do it, and he's like, I won't do it. Won't do it at all. And I'm like, that's the only reason anyone came to see you, is to do that one song.
Right.
It's, I saw Ben Folds, and he wouldn't do Brick. I saw him at and he would play like the first three notes from it, and everybody would like, and then he would move on.
And this is the one song that everyone came to hear.
Right, this is the song everyone came to hear. Now he's got a huge library of music, and everybody liked it. Now that kind of brings up a point. Now I know today we have a special occasion with the DJ and everything.
Yeah, we have a food truck outside.
There's an amazing food truck that I love the name of it.
And I just saw people walking by with
food, so that might happen. But now that was going to be my next thing. What are some of the things that, as you're getting more comfortable with this and you're getting comfortable with this environment, what are some of the things that you would like to do, whether it be like a theme night or like live music outside? Can you even do that in a neighborhood like this?
We came in complete novices as far as actually owning a bar and what's required of a license, and we didn't know we had to have an entertainment license or a cabaret license. So we have a straight liquor license, so we can't have live entertainment.
New York has so many.
It's a lot of hoops they have to jump through. So I think our next big step is we're going to change that license so that we can have shows and entertainment.
So now, does that tag along? Is that a liquor and entertainment license, or is that we have a liquor license?
You have a specific cabaret license or something.
I think it's separate. And then on top of it, you have to deal with sound ordinances. So when you do have that live music, because you have residential houses all around, you got to think about that.
Exactly. That's why we try to keep the music at a level that's respectful to the people that are around us. And when you're inside, what we're going for this place to be, loud, funky music wouldn't really play to that anyway. Is that better?
Our voices are perfect.
That's like a piece of the
It fluctuates. Well, it's a good problem to have because now there's more people coming in.
Well, that's
so
the whole thing. Like I said, folks, if you're in the area right now and
please come.
you're come down to DL's Lounge. We're out here in Schenectady. We're hanging out with Lee right now. David's hustling bottles behind the bar.
Yes, he is.
He looks like he's sweating like he owes somebody money. He got the shirt open and everything. He's like showing his moneymaker off right now. He's like, look, you got to make the tips. Got to do something here today. I think he's getting corrected on his bartending right now. But so we're looking to get the cabaret license. And see, that's curious to me. So if the sisters, if we've had the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence on the show before, or Amanda Love and all them wanted to do a show.
What great individuals they all are.
I love them.
I just met them.
People.
Yeah, they seem
They're
great.
just amazing people.
Yeah.
After we're done this, because it's a very long diatribe to explain my connection to Amanda, and most people sit there and go, "What?" Yeah, because he's my grandson's great uncle, but my son's adopted grandfather.
I'll give you the pen and paper.
And we're not even in West Virginia. So, but now would that fall under that cabaret piece? Like you couldn't even have them?
I believe so.
Interesting.
I believe so.
I think any type of show you'd have to, yeah.
New York State's wacky that way. Like, at New York State, you have to have a license to walk a dog.
Well, I'm in trouble. We have free.
Like seriously. So, but no, you can walk your dog. But if I wanted to, if you said, Murph, can you come get the dogs and walk them for me? And you're like, I'll give you $10 for it. I have to now go get a license in New York State to be a dog walker. That's a real thing.
I thought you were joking. I thought this was
No. No, New York State requires you to have a license to walk other people's dogs. You have to be a licensed dog.
I'm sure there's got to be a reason for it, but I can't imagine what it is.
I wonder if they have people out there like. I wonder if they have someone out there checking, like, "Hey, is that your dog?" And see the. My mother lives. She bought a townhouse in one of those associations, and there was a problem with people not picking up the dog shit. And at one point in one of the meetings, they brought up that they were going to send the shit out, test it against the DNA of everyone's dogs. And I thought my mother was joking. And at the end of it, I was like, I saw her face. I'm like, this is real. It was something brought up, and I just was like, Mom, why the hell did you even get into this? She goes, it was different when you brought in.
Who volunteered for that job?
My God, can you imagine?
I've lived in a homeowners association one time, and I was a young Marine at the time. I was 27 years old. It really, be honest, didn't care for civilians all that much because it was like, you're just scummy civilians. Stupid civilians. So I'm sitting in my house, and I had a dog. Always cleaned up the dog mess, but I would bag it up and I would set it by the front door. So when I went to go do trash, just throw it out there. Like 9 o'clock at night, I hear this banging at my door. Banging at my door at 9 o'clock at night. I go to the door and I'm like, I might have had something on me, and went to the door and I was like, hello? And it's this woman from the homeowners association. You need to pick this dog mess up. You can't have this out here. If we see it again, we're going to find you. I ate her up from one end to the other. I was like, don't you ever come to my house at 9 o'clock at night on a work night. And she's like, I was livid. Like, I could never do that again. I could never live in a house.
They get a little bit of power.
That's what
it goes right to their heads. I mean, that's with anyone, though. I mean, anybody that is an asshole that gets a little bit of power, that's how they act.
Yeah, entitlement's a real thing.
So, and I got to tell you, so I think probably one of the most interesting things that I saw today is we mentioned The Rock. The bar, The Rocks.
Oh yeah, I love that place.
That's other bar owners here supporting you. How is that relationship? How have they helped you out in any of this? What was that like?
Just in their support. They've come out a couple of times, and we've gone over there and we've been to Rocks many times before. And they're just a great bunch of guys. It's a great bar. And there's no competition kind of thing. It's just we're all trying to do the same thing and just make some place that people can go and enjoy themselves.
And I mean, in our society today where everything's so polarized, this really does feel like a safe space.
It is. It is. And, we have talked about it before. You can come in, you can be anything you want to be who you want to be, just don't be an asshole.
It only gets to be one.
You only get to be one. Well, two.
Yeah, the owners. It's the only people that get to be assholes.
Yeah.
Everybody else got to go pound sand. But I mean, I imagine that was part of what your goals were, was that. But how do you? I guess how do you create that? Like, I know how I would create it, but I think about things from as I mentioned, a Marine Corps way. I'm like security in that. What was your approach to create what really is a safe space?
Just kind of word of mouth, kind of explaining what we wanted the place to be and what it is and what we hope it can be, and yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. Just you come here, you be you, be comfortable, be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself, whatever that is.
Right.
There was a straight couple when we first opened up. They come in from time to time, and he kind of pulled David aside and say, "Hey, you know what? I kind of like to dress up."
Really?
All right. So go home and come back. And he went home and he came back with his girlfriend, and he was kind of dressed up. And it's good for him. It was his first time he ever dressed in any kind of female garb, heels and whatnot. In public.
Really?
Yeah. So that to be able to be able to give that to somebody was fantastic.
That's special. That's special. Absolutely. Very cool.
Lee, that's monstrously huge.
I don't know how he does it. I can't walk in sneakers. But
look, I have my crutches right now, so we're good. Yeah, But that's. I don't think I've ever.
Honestly, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think that was the moment we knew that we had something special.
Absolutely.
That really is. I mean, I can't. I honestly, other than being around, like either lifelong friends or that's probably about the only time I've ever felt that kind of safety where you kind of let your guard down or
you can be yourself.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's nice.
Yeah, it was an incredible feeling to be part of it.
I bet. When you can give that to somebody, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So what do we have? What else we have in store here? I know we're talking about the cabaret license. We got this thing going, grand opening, and what else do we have tonight? Anything special going on tonight?
Tonight we have the DJ. We have, like I said, the amazing food truck outside. We just want everyone to come and build that camaraderie together and just support each other. And it's Pride Month.
That is it. Like, does Schenectady have a Pride parade?
They don't have a parade, but they had the Pride event.
What is that?
That's it is they listen, when we first moved here it was at the Armory.
Okay.
It was very small, but you could just tell there was an amazing group of people that were trying to build and support each other, and every year it's gotten bigger. It moved to downtown by J Street rather. They had a stage. This year it's by the Rainbow Arches. Excuse me, I forget the name of the park. A beautiful little park in the corner of downtown.
Oh, you're talking about Central Park. You're talking about Central?
Not Central Park.
It's got these really neat. I skateboarded through it because it's just really neat to roll through. Like there's a bus stop right there as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, right over there.
You're not skateboarding anymore,
Yeah,
right?
it's a pretty little park in the corner.
You're not skateboarding anymore, right?
Do I not skateboard anymore?
I'm asking if you're still skateboarding.
Absolutely.
But they had the Pride event there, and they have entertainers and vendors and things like that. It's really great. We're actually very upset we didn't get to go today. Just trying to run around and get things ready for today. So that was disappointed, but I hope everybody had a great safe time.
I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, you had a fair excuse. I'm gonna give you you had a fair excuse.
Right, you get a pass.
As to why. I want to say I'm trying to get Dave's attention, but he seems to be doing this get his vibe on everything. He's over there doing his thing.
He's pretending to work.
You know, that's one of my greatest skills that I have. Is I'm very good at looking busy.
He's got the gift of gab, much more than I do.
You got to.
He's amazing.
Well, I'm going to say, for somebody who may not have the gift of gab that David has, you sat down in front of this mic like it was nobody's business.
I was gonna argue against that.
I forgot about the mic.
Well, that's always the hope, is that you eventually forget about it and you don't think about those kind of things. But so I'm just trying to think, like, there's so much like going on here and so much happening, and it's just such a unique space. I guess that's really kind of the other thing is, and we touched on it a little bit. I want to go back to this for a minute. Ever have any concerns with this being? I know why you put it in Schenectady, but was there ever a concern like, man, we're doing this shit in Schenectady? And for those who don't know Schenectady, go look Schenectady up.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to put it.
There were those thoughts. I heard rumblings of people that, you know, why is there a gay bar kind of thing. Well, because some people need one.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's different times we live in. It's 2022, and it's not so out of the norm now, where you don't have to feel uncomfortable going to a regular straight bar. It's people are perfectly acceptable, but not everybody feels that safety or comfort level or whatever you want to call it. And being a gay man myself, I think it's nice.
You're gay?
Well, only for the clothes.
Okay.
But double the market. It's great to have some place to call your own. I mean, and that we want this to be a home for people that feel that they want or need that. Does that make sense?
No, it does. So you said there was some rumbling. Like, have you had anyone that's like popped in and been like,
no, not at all.
Nothing like that.
Not at all. We've had some people that have popped in, straight couples, just to kind of check it out. And they told us about the rumblings, and they left loving the place. And they said they can't wait to come back.
Great.
Now I have to tell you, coming in here the other day was the first time I was been in a gay bar that I knew I was in there, and I still, even in 2022, had stigmas in my head of what I expected to see.
Right.
Only because I knew about the gay bars in Key West, which are just a totally different animal. I've learned now.
I lived in Fort Lauderdale and I've been to Key West many, many times. So they're different.
It's very different. And we vacation every year in the Cape, and we go to P-Town. So I had a very different, and I have to say that walking in here that first time broke that mindset for me right away. You can smile at us. We're okay to smile at you. I said, you can smile at
It's another coworker came out to support us.
Hello.
Are you having fun?
Oh God, yeah. Best bar in Schenectady.
There you go.
I'll pay you later.
Brought you in part back. So I mean, I just wanted to throw that out there that I had that stigma. I don't know about yourself. I mean, if you had been in other ones, you lived down in the city,
right? I mean, I don't know. I've kind of been open to everything in my life. I don't know. I was never, even growing up where I grew up, a small village. I dealt with so much bigotry, and had to pretend growing up that it was funny and this and that. I never bought into it, whether or not it was racism or just bigotry in general. And I just never bought into it.
I mean, we're not going to be for everybody, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
There are plenty of other places to go where you can go and enjoy yourself.
So you get applause for that. Because, well, it's kind of refreshing to hear that you're not for everyone, because so many people, well, if you don't like what I've got, then you're a problem. What can I say? This is such an inclusive place. It's okay if you don't like it. There's a bar down the street.
Exactly.
Go to that one.
Right.
You know, go drink in your house or do whatever you want. Big Nate's checking us out. He's going to ask already, a buddy of mine, Nate. So he wants to know, because we already talked about food. I know he's going to ask it. What is your go-to bar food? Your personal. Doesn't matter about here. Your personal, like you're sitting in a bar.
If I'm going,
Yes. Wings?
wings.
You can't go wrong.
I want to. They got to burn my face off.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Really?
So you like? Okay, good on you. Good on you.
And just with a nice cold beer.
Who's your favorite wings around the area? Can you say? I can tell you, I'm split between two places.
Let's hear it.
See, for me, I'm split between Rux and Bacchus.
What's
Bacchus. Do you know where the confectionery is in Troy?
Yes.
Just up from the confectionery. Don't go to the end of the block, just up from it. And it's down in a basement. And it's a brick oven pizza place. But they do, instead of fried wings, they do brick oven cooked wings.
Okay, I don't think I've had that.
Yeah,
You can tell the difference.
You get that woodsy, smoky, right off the rip. But I mean, but around here, Rux is kind of like Rux in
It's been
Troy.
quite a while, but the last time I didn't go for the hot, I went for the flavor, and I think there were Thai flavored wings, and it was at the Horse's Lounge.
Never been to the Horse's Lounge.
I like it. I like
Is
it.
that here in Schenectady?
Oh yeah.
See, I've never been there.
Queen Street, I think. I might have the street.
You know what's another good one? Is Rusty Nail.
Yes. Yes. Right Route 9 up off between
Clifton Park.
Yeah, between exit 9 and 10 on Route 9, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
So if any of your
past
listeners have a good place for great wings,
Yes, we're taking wing orders.
Yep. And now I'm
Let us
getting
know.
now I'm hungry. So
Yes.
Now the two fat kids are
so,
over
yeah.
here.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Look, if you get any skinnier, you fall through your own asshole and choke yourself to death.
What, me?
Yeah.
I'll get fat. Go get me some wings, man. Let's do it. Come on.
Now we're getting David closer and closer to the mic. We want to get David's side to the story. At some point, we'll get Fabio to come over here.
Tagging me.
you're checking me out.
What'd I do?
But we're waiting for you, Fabio, to come over so we can hear your side. Yeah. We wanted to get. We're not chasing Lee off, but we got Lee's side of the story. We wanted to get your side of the story. This dream of opening a bar and doing the entire bar piece. We wanted to get your vibe on the why. Like, where did this whole dream come from? Why'd you want to open your own place?
Look how many seconds on it. It's been running around.
You would need this.
You're gonna need this.
Okay.
Have faith and confidence.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm going to tap out.
All right.
Just
You
relax.
tap out.
Are you leaving me?
Forget this is all here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of this matters.
None of these people are watching.
Okay.
No one's watching you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry. No one's watching. So, but seriously, like, I mean, so we got David on now the D and D out.
Yes.
And one of the things that we were talking to with Lee was about, why start a bar? Why this was a dream for you? Like, so really, what was that?
It was always a dream to be my own, my own business. And I've bartended for years. So I figured, give it a try. And it really is not a gay bar in Schenectady. So
Was that? But what was the more driving force for you? Was it that there wasn't a gay bar in Schenectady, or was it you wanted to own a bar?
the fact that there wasn't a gay bar in Schenectady
That's crazy.
stands out more.
That's crazy.
It really is. I mean, we're talking a major city in this state. And we're not talking. It's not like, hey, we're in Petersburg, New York, where you're like, if you blink, you'll miss the whole place. We're talking a very large, major city. So
It's a safe space for, people to come out, and have a drink and just relax. It's not party. The music's not loud. It's just a relaxing atmosphere.
only today. Only today is party.
No, it's usually quiet. It's not crazy. You can always have a conversation with someone and hear the music. So it's relaxing.
So when you went to Lee, and at this point, how long had you and Lee been married when you dropped this idea?
No, we weren't married. We just got married in February.
Oh, so you got married as the bar opened.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, you just figured, fuck it, I'm gonna throw everything and throw it all in at once. Let's do it. We're going full gumbo.
February was a busy month.
We're going full gumbo. So at that point, then you guys are dating, and you tell
together for over 9 years.
So 9 years, and you say, "Hey, yeah, I'm just gonna do this." Like, how? What was that? Like, I don't even know if I could have that conversation with my wife right now. If I was like, "Yeah, hey, look, and I love my podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my job that pays the bills, and I'm just gonna
Try this. Dude, right. All right. How did that feel, making the leap?
It was a long road because COVID had happened. I quit my job 2019, figured, take some time off because I've been in the casino business industry for 25 years. Just needed a break from that. And then, was taking a year off, never had the summer off, weekends, holidays. Casino business 24/7. So after that, beginning of 2020, I started working on the liquor license to get open. And then, lo and behold, in March, everything shuts down. And the state liquor authority was shut down for a year.
So did you feel like that dream was done at that point? Like, this is done. Maybe I should go back to casinos or something like that.
I actually applied, but that same week the liquor license came in, so that was a sign.
Very busy.
Yeah.
So karma stepped in just in time to get that for you.
Yep. I said that was a sign. It had to be.
So you now this particular space. How did you find this space? Did you find it or did Lee find it?
I did. We were driving up Broadway. Just driving up Broadway. We seen a for sale sign in the window.
Just pulled over and we're like,
look at that. Yeah. I had a realtor I was working with to find the property, so I called her and said, I'd like to see this one.
What did it look like when you first walked in?
The colors were interesting. The color choices were interesting.
Oh, what was it? Now I'm interested.
Yeah, now I want to know.
The back wall was red. The bathrooms were brown. And it wasn't an appealing color for a bathroom. Needless to say.
Hilarious. Oh my god.
Perfect. That's perfect. Just let's clean up.
Right.
Yeah.
So red back wall, brown bathroom. What was it that when you first looked at it though that you were like, okay, we can work with this?
There were a couple of properties I had wanted, but thank God that we went with this one, because the other one sitting on it, it was an old VFW in Schenectady.
Oh, nice.
It was for sale.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It was actually cheaper than this. It had 66 parking spots. It's like, I want to see it. We've seen it and everything else. And, it's like, okay, this might not be the one. The taxes would have been crazy on it. So
66 parking spots. Probably had a full kitchen in it if it was a VFW.
There was a bowling alley in the basement. It wasn't used anymore, but it was there,
Still, though.
Do you know the opportunity you missed there? How amazing you could have done drag bowling. Drag bowling night. I could have been there for drag.
That would have made him quit his job.
I would have done my version of like sports broadcasting from drag bowling night. How amazing would that have been?
That would have been fun.
But then again, there are just so you know, there are cornhole set up outside. There are drag queens out there, so you never know. They might be playing drag cornhole right now.
Cornhole. Do you know I told my wife about this for Father's Day. Have you ever seen Pop Darts? That's my new thing, Pop Darts.
What are Pop Darts?
So you take the darts. So when you first get the set, they actually tell you just walk over to the table, you drop it, and wherever the big orange one lands, it sticks there. They have big suction cups, and it's three of them. You have 3 darts, the other person has 3 darts, and they have suction cups. You stand 15 feet from the table, and you throw them. Whoever can get closest to the center orange dart is how you point it. And then there's like leaners, and then sticking it on top of the other suction cup.
It's like a bocce with darts in a weird way.
Exactly like bocce.
Okay.
Like that's the biggest comparison it gets is bocce.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
But you stand 15 feet, and all you need is a table like this one with a smooth finish to it, and you just
So they stick.
so they stick to it.
Yeah.
That's my new addiction.
Oh, that's cool.
Anything for Leisure Olympics. I'm a big fan of the Leisure Olympics. Like darts, pool table, cornhole, anything where it actually takes zero athletic ability.
Right. And you can still have fun doing it. So
Right, and I can still be, I can sit there with a beer or whatever in my hand and do it. So now so any other things like, see, I love tournaments. That's why like the bar shirts that we do, we're always softball. Any thoughts of that? And talk to anyone about like softball, like sponsoring a softball team, like bar softball? I love bar softball.
Not yet. Haven't gotten that far yet.
You haven't gotten to that on the list?
See, this is the stuff I love.
I've got a bunch of lists and everything else, and it's like, what about,
I'm sure.
So what's the next? So then that's a great question. So what's next on the list? So what's the next thing?
So what do you want to tackle next?
What do you want to tackle next?
I don't know. Just everything running smoothly going forward at this time.
Take it as it goes.
Yes.
Well, lastly, so what do you like? Who's looking first of all? We were trying to get into it. We couldn't get into it. I put my face in there. I try to tell my wife all the time. My wife's like, "Where's your phone?" I'm like, right there. When we first started dating, she would ask me questions like, "Who are you texting?" Fucking here. I don't give a shit. If I was going to hide it from you, trust me, I wouldn't do it in front of you. We're each other's phone all the time. Yeah. Well, that's what. So we were just talking. He's got his list. Have you seen his list of things he wants to do here?
Which one?
One of the lists. Hilarious.
One of the lists.
He's got a list of what to put on the list.
That's great.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. That's no easy feat.
It's not. It's not. I learned something new every day with this place.
Did you see the wings?
I'm learning a lot.
Did you notice the wings?
Oh, I wanted to ask you about that. So that's how I learned about your guys' place was Amanda and see, I wouldn't call him Thomas, but today it's not Thomas, it's Aquafina. I see, I have to read. Yeah,
Alfina.
Alfina Omega.
I always say there's another part.
See, that's the tough part for me, is I know them all on that level.
Right.
And then when we go places, I don't need to be the douche and be like, Thomas. And then I have to be like, nope, that's not Thomas right now. And I want to go, Frank. And then I got to go, it's not Frank right now. That's Amanda.
That's Amanda.
And I feel like a douche when I do it. It's like, at this point, they all expect it of me because I don't mean to do it. I just, to me, you're just that person. I grew up that way. But talk about the wings because that's how I learned about this place.
We had a big blank wall, and we had the idea we wanted some kind of focal point where people could take a picture of it.
We're not really getting it. Here, let's do this.
Amanda kind of hidden behind the DJ equipment.
Amanda. Good God, you're so deaf. Amanda's deaf, the most deaf person I know. Can you hold a light up over those so that people can see it on the camera?
Hold the light up where?
On the wings. Oh my God.
Hold on, he's going to put the light on.
I was going to put the light on. Hold on, never mind. He's going to turn the light on. Look, your boobs are in the camera. Your boobs are in the camera.
I didn't even realize we're on camera.
Oh yeah, this is all live right now. April says you're looking good.
Thank you, April.
All right, there we go. Now get out of the way. There we go. Now we can see him.
I didn't start again because I didn't want to bother you guys.
What's that?
The DJ. I know you're good. Are you sure?
What do you want to do? Oh, you're gonna start now?
I can wait
if you don't mind. Give me 13 minutes.
I just want to make sure he knows that I'm doing my job.
He's not going to pay you.
Don't worry about it. It's 13 less minutes we're paying you.
The wings. We thought it'd be a great idea to have some kind of focal point where people can take pictures, and you've seen this kind of idea everywhere.
Yeah,
where people stand in front of the wings and take a picture, they post it, and we thought that'd be one, a really cool art piece, and two, just give a great free promotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So our friend Patrick is an artist. We commissioned him to do the work. He came in one day, sketched it in chalk, and threw some paint on the wall, and that's what he came up with. It was just amazing.
So was it this or the? Because you guys, I think, are probably close to my age. Was it this one or the airbrush cityscape that we all did back in the 90s?
It was always.
Do you remember those pictures? The airbrush cityscape, everybody standing in front of it. We all had to do that one. You did that. You have one of those pictures somewhere, don't you?
We all do.
Do you know about that one, Evan?
What's that?
Do you remember the airbrush cityscape pictures? Everybody would do in the clubs.
No.
That used to be like a big thing. It used to be like the biggest thing. Like you go to the club and you'd walk in the door and there would be the camera person and they would have like the airbrush cityscape and everybody would have to do your best boys to men pose.
Oh, jeez.
Motown Philly.
Yep, so
Philly. I was more of a Belle Biv DeVoe guy.
yeah, well, I mean, you got to look Belle Biv DeVoe just for the simple fact that they started that whole other movement with Boys to Men, ABC. That's it. The East Coast Family.
Yeah.
I remember the whole entire line. So we are going to get ready. We're going to get ready to close the bar. But so I want everybody to know again, the address here is
2432 Broadway.
in Schenectady.
Mm-hmm.
Hours are
They vary a little bit. Friday, Saturday, it's 4 to midnight. Sunday, we're 12 to 5. Closed on Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we are 12 to 8.
why close Monday?
Because we need a day off. We need time together.
Today we do a lot of running around.
Bullshit.
And the laundry's got to get done at some point.
Well, I just got to get done. We got to do a lot of running around to take care of.
So we've got basically 6 days a week.
Oh,
You're running 6 days.
it's 7 days a week. It really is. Even though the bar's not open on Monday, we're still working.
Gotcha.
So,
And what if somebody was coming here? What would you tell them? If never heard about the place, didn't know it, they were looking for a place to go hang out. What would be the way you describe this to them?
Everyone can sit down and have a conversation and enjoy themselves. The music's not too loud. Some of us work, jobs or used to work jobs, where the music is really loud and everything else. In the casino industry, especially, the music's always loud and everything else. So you can go somewhere and just relax and have a conversation and drink and decompress sometimes.
What do you think? What did I miss? Evan's supposed to be backing me up. He does it way better. He's got way better questions than I do.
I don't know. We covered pretty much everything. I mean, what I was gonna ask is what's next for you guys? Like what is the next plan? We kind of covered that, but where do you guys want to see Schenectady in general coming up? Do you want to see more places like this, or do you want this to be the spot?
oh yeah, there's room for everybody. We're not trying to be we want to be the only game in town as far as an LGBTQ bar, lounge, restaurant, or whatever you want. One married.
How about upstairs? Any thoughts of doing anything?
Office. Office and storage.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we had a horrible tenant experience that we won't get into. So that's office and storage.
See, now you ever thought about like a cigar lounge or anything like that?
Nope, not this time.
I was
Quick answer.
I just always think about those things like the bar inside of the bar. Like there's that one in New York. I think it's New York City that inside of a 7-Eleven, if you go all the way to the back of the 7-Eleven, there's like an actual bar built into it.
Oh wow! I would like to one day see in here down the road, make it a little more cigar lounge-esque.
You know what I mean, right?
Without the cigars, because you can't smoke inside. Darken the walls, darken the floors. Maybe get some leather chairs and kind of thing. A little more lounge feel for dance lounge instead of the tables and the high chairs. And get things that where you can actually sit down and sit back.
Would you play the music from Police Academy? Like, that's the only thing that I think of. Like, because you were like blacking the floors, couches everywhere. All I could hear is like whoever guard went off to, and all I could think of was like his guard walking in and the music going. That's the only thing that came to mind. Well, we're gonna get ready to close this thing down as we always do. There's some important rules here. You guys have never been on the show. This is the first time. We love it. Again, 2432 Broadway in Schenectady, DL's Lounge, and that stands for David and Lee, not down low. So keep that in mind, folks. 6 days a week. Only day closes on Mondays. Make sure you're coming out. If you're in the area right now, make sure you bring yourself out. Any website out there?
We have a Facebook page. Hours are on our Facebook page.
The Facebook page is DL. Is it DLS Lounge?
Yes.
So it's DLS Delta Lima Sierra Lounge. So make sure you look that up. Everybody go give them a follow. How about Instagram? Anything else?
None of those yet.
So we got to get an Instagram so we can get everybody. See, that would be.
We're old.
Look, I'm old too. I have an Instagram. That's what you do with these pictures. So everybody does a picture from you.
And it's easy peasy. You just take that picture, post it. All visual. You don't have to really write much.
Yeah, and then they just go and tag and say, "Oh, this is where we're at for the night."
All in due time, though. All in due time.
Evan and I will make your page up as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
Did you see our Miss Steele's lounge?
Is that who that is? She has a sash and everything. Nice arm. So
We also have a food truck here today. Liga's
Tafalco's, it says Roman cuisine.
Yes.
I like that. I like the way he wrote it too. Instead of like Roman.
Oh, nice.
And she's a new business too. So.
Okay, Schenectady business.
Yes.
So we're gonna go. We have to go get some chow and have another drink.
Absolutely.
So everybody.
Twist my arm.
What's that?
You don't have to twist my arm.
Yeah, no. Maybe we'll bring the smoker next time. I'll bring my smoker next time. And we'll do ribs. Nice.
I will not say no to that.
Yeah,
There we go. Sounds good.
Now I want ribs.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So as we do on every show, one of the most important things is the guests always get the last word. It's very, very important here. So what is the final word? You guys pick. Rock, paper, scissors. Save this first.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for just listening to us.
I'll go.
Yes.
The world gave more kindness. Just be nice. Love one another. Why is it so hard?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks. Be sure to push your stool in.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.